Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. His name is Jimmy the Bag. This is Loshak in the Bag show for Thursday, February 15th. It is the 12 o'clock edition of this show. Of course, we do these shows twice a day, 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock Eastern time. Yesterday was a big day, Jimmy the Bag. Yesterday was a big day. Jimmy the Bag was up 6.5 units, including a clean sweep of the NBA. I was up 11 units, including 19-7 in college basketball. You know, I'm having the same kind of up season that I had in baseball and I have in many sports, and I'm now positive in college basketball after having gone down significantly negative after a huge hot start. So things are looking overall pretty good. Jimmy the Bag, how you feeling?
I feel, I feel good.
What do you mean? 6.5 units, a clean sweep of NBA. Jim.
I just don't want to get too confident. It's a battle every day. You know, I came in came in Tuesday morning very upset. Mm-hmm. So we've had a good 48 hours. I want a good 72 hours, and then I want a good fucking 96 hours. So I'm going to focus on the grind and not get caught up in patting myself on the back for a good night.
Absolutely, absolutely. Wow, now -110, no Stratota, 1-1 yesterday, 17-3 in college basketball in February. Wow. And this is part of the reason why this show is so great. Absolutely. We have people like -110, no Stratota, and about 8 or 10 others, 15 others, 25 or 50 others who are given picks like that. Well, you know, 17-3 in college basketball February, that's a little bit special. We don't have 50 other people going that 17-3 college basketball. But he says his best bets today, Wofford -3.5, interesting, and Middle Tennessee -7. Best of luck with all your action. Big ups to Loshak in the Bag. Keep killing it, guys. Yes, you keep killing it too, -110, no Stratota. And thanks so much for your best bets there. A lot of times, no Stratota's plays go against my leans or picks or whatever. He took Central Michigan when they were going up against Northern Illinois. I like Northern Illinois. The Middle Tennessee game, very interesting today. We'll discuss that in the college basketball segment, Jimmy the Bag.
We will, and I love this. I love knowing that no Stratota's jumping on this, because I know he watches the show, but having him on the chat, giving us his way, this is wonderful. We work together as a team, and we make our lives fucking better as a team. Milk fucking bookies, man. Leche!
That's right. Let's see. Yes. Big Dick Donnie saying, damn, Pete, looking like a rock star. Thank you very much. Cody Hollows, the Loshak was at Cornell again, huh? The Loshak joke. All right, let's get into it, Jimmy the Bag. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Let's jump into college basketball. As usual, I did have a chance to look at most of the spreads on college basketball. We didn't talk about the interesting stuff to think about yesterday. Once again, you remember, we all like Drake, and Drake, you know, the line moved against us, and we thought, what the hell is that? Should it scare us off of it? And the answer was no, and of course, Drake cashed. There was a lot of interesting stuff in college basketball yesterday that we didn't go over, Jim. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I was, I've just got to stop being afraid. I'm not afraid with line movements in NBA and NHL. I trust it, but just because I've been struggling in NCAA, I take it more, and I'm just leaving units and leaving cash on the table. All the guys, so many guys that I respect immensely were on Drake, and just because the line movement scared me away.
Oh, it scared me too. I just decided to go on it after hearing a lot of other opinions, going on it anyway. But, and that just goes to show you that sometimes these line movements are just wrong. You did have a great read on Michigan. You said if it goes under, it probably means that Michigan covers, and that is exactly what happened. And let's see, what else happened? And I didn't even throw in Providence plus the points. I knew Providence was a good play.
That was beautiful.
I forgot to even throw that into my leans column. Let's see, just scanning, just to remind ourselves of what the lessons were from yesterday. Cleveland State got the cover and the under. Youngstown State, once again, a home dog. I outthought myself on that one. I bet that one. There's no reason why I shouldn't have given that one. That was solidly in my leans column. Yesterday was a big day. I'm just scanning yesterday's results for the lessons we want to pull from that, and then we'll move on. Yep, Indiana. I knew India. I was a little bit close, but Indiana had a big edge over Illinois. Let's see, the Kentucky game. You know, those half points matter. They lost by 10. It was going down to the wire, looking like an easy casher for a long time. But I did nail the under on that one by about 14 points, Jim. I knew that one was going to happen.
Beautiful.
Yes, and Memphis, of course, that was another big margin casher. Let's see, I'm just Denver, great call on Denver, Jimmy the Bag, covered easily against NEOM.
Yeah, no, that was easy. Denver is a good team at home.
Yeah.
One of those teams that's just the difference between their home and road games are immense. and they get people up in that high elevation, and they can mess with them. Also, it was clear in that last game when their two bigs fouled out and played 20 minutes and 16 minutes that if they could stay out of foul trouble, they were going to beat this team easily.
Yeah. All right, so I think that's it for the big lesson in college basketball is the line movements matter, and you should be, anytime a line moves against you or makes an unexpected move, that is a cause for concern. But it definitely should not be enough to push you off of it, right?
You know what? The market is always going to be something that we focus on.
Yes.
But if the guys I respect are all on a play, I'm not going to let the market scare me off. That's been a mistake.
Yeah. Okay, and it definitely helps to have the collective wisdom of this group. All right, let's start with college basketball. Someone said early in the chat that they liked Citadel. They went big on Citadel at plus 10.5, and so did I. I took Citadel at home against NC Greensboro. I bet that one at plus 10.5. It's now down to 10, and I think I will give that one as an official pick here. Dave L.A. says I went big on Citadel plus 10.5. You know, look, Citadel is still the far inferior team here against NC Greensboro, but they've proven that they can hang with the top teams in the Southern Conference. They're getting big points, and I will start off making that one an official pick. I did bet it at 10.5, and I will take it now at plus 10 minus 110 at the Greek. Citadel plus 10 minus 110 at the Greek. That will be an official pick. I will start off with Citadel. Jim, did you get a chance to look at any of these college games?
I did, but I didn't fully hammer them. But I'm on Citadel too. I would like it to make an official pick right now, full game. A guy that that knows this conference very well, that I hang with on Twitter, absolutely loves this place.
Really?
Well, he's going on the first half and the full game.
Really?
I thought about doing the first half and the full game all morning, and decided I'll just stick with the full game. But I wouldn't mind jumping on that first half as well, but I'm just going to leave it at the full game at this point.
I'll take the first half. Why not? I left a bunch of money on the table, even though I'm now positive in college basketball. We didn't throw the record up yet, but I don't think we did. But I officially did go positive, and once again, I'm killing it in February, as I expected to do, every year. You know, it's not a legal thing to do in sports betting to pick and choose your start and end points unless you call it before the start end point. You know what I'm saying? You can't go back and say, well, this is my record, in January of this month, unless before January you say, I expect to do well in that month. Right?
Sure.
I will take Citadel first half plus 5.5. You know, they could get blown the hell out here, but I think it's a solid play. Citadel first half plus 5.5 minus 110. That's the line across the board on the market, and that is definitely a play.
Native Queen is on Greensboro first half, and then Citadel second half. Which is
that's not very good.
No.
There you go. All of a sudden, everything I just said totally out the window. Now I'm feeling insecure, Jim. Now I'm feeling insecure about my first half pick.
Good reason.
All right. Well, we won't be able to take it back to the 6 o'clock show because it's a 6 o'clock game.
Yeah.
So that game will already have started. All right. Well, I'll stick with it. I just threw it on there. I just clicked confirm in the virtual betting of this show. So I got those two plays, and I guess I'm going to ride with them. But that's not very good to hear.
We got Juan in the
what?
game.
What's that, Juan?
Amazing comment here. Carlos Perog. Yo, I took the wife out. I'm back in my car to listen the best show on earth. I had to wash my nuts, though.
Yes, thank you very much. Carlos Paraj, he says, yo, I took the wife out. I'm back in the car to listen to the best show on earth. All in caps, thank you very much. I had to wash my nuts, though. Good. Great to hear. Thanks for the update. King Rail says, I'm riding with Cincinnati. We might as well talk about that game. That is an interesting one. Obviously, Cincinnati is a juggernaut. They haven't really played the elite of their conference, though. They've had a lot of, cupcakes and semi-cupcakes. And Houston, we know how good they can be. I did bet Houston at plus 3.5, and it's now down to 2.5 or 3. So a market move in favor of Houston. Cincinnati, they're the real deal. But again, we saw what Houston did to Wichita State. We know that Cincinnati, they have been beaten this year, and a lot of their games in their current run of awesomeness have come against, UCF, USF, a lot of the bottom tier teams, Tulane, teams like that.
They have not just beaten those teams, though. They've
Yes,
absolutely annihilated those teams. Udon Porn-Ratnafacti came in and said his best play, he likes the under in this game, under 131.
Okay.
I hear what you're saying about not having the toughest level of competition, but they look like a very, very tough tough team.
Yeah, they do. I have not had a chance to look at any of the totals in college basketball, but that is certainly an interesting game. One other bet that I did make, I did bet Wichita State minus 11.5 over Tulane. Of course, Wichita State has picked it up recently, ATS-wise.
Over Temple?
Temple, right. And right, over Temple. And that is now up to 12.5 or 13. It is a revenge game for Wichita State, right? I believe they lost to Temple. Temple can definitely disappear at times, and if Wichita State has revenge in mind, they might not take the foot off the gas. Did you look at that one, Jimmy the Bag, at all?
I did briefly. Like I hammered the 13 pro games in completion, and then I had a little bit of time left over and looked at this card. There were some plays I liked, and Wichita jumped out at me. Yeah, they have to be angry. They played awful against Temple, and I think you're on the right side there. I really do.
I bet it at 11.5. It's now up to 12.5 or 13. Those points could matter, but I'm hoping that they don't. And all right, I'll throw it on there. Because I did bet it. I'm not going to have a lack of balls here. Wichita State minus 12.5. I bet it 11.5. 12.5 minus 110 is the best line across the board. Minus 12.5, minus 110. I will throw that one on there. Wichita State over Temple. Other games that I bet. I did bet Coastal Carolina at minus 1. Now they're solidly up to 3. UWager still has minus 2.5. This might be one of those games where I'll take the money line. You noticed yesterday, Jim, with the Cleveland State game, that line was 3, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to take the money line. They wound up winning by 3. Same thing with Florida State, right? I kind of like them, but they needed overtime. I took them on the money line. They wound up losing the spread, but winning the money line there. This is another game where I think Coastal Carolina should have the edge. I'm not totally sure. I'd rather take them here at minus 3 or the money line. I did bet it at minus 1. I'm glad I got that one. I assume you didn't look into that one, Jim, did you?
Not the Coastal Carolina game, no, but I will.
All right, let me just quickly check the money line here, and then I will make a decision on that one. Yeah, it's up there. It's about minus. Where is that one? Where the hell is that game? Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Where the hell is that game? Having the usual problems here when they put up 50 games in college basketball. Can't find it. I think I saw 150. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Minus 150. If 145 5 times we don't use them, I will take that one. Coastal Carolina money line minus 150. I bet it at minus 1. It's now minus 3, 2.5 at UWager, and I will take the money line minus 150 current line at UWager and Heritage and a few other places. And I think I might throw on the first half on that one as well. Jim, there's a lot of interesting games in college basketball today. Of course, Purdue, Wisconsin. Purdue has slumped a little bit ATS recently, haven't they, Jim?
Yeah.
Wisconsin, not a great team, but they always have a home court advantage, or usually have a home court advantage, and they're getting huge points here. I don't know if you looked at that one. Other games that are interesting: Ohio State against Penn State. Penn State has suddenly become a pretty impressive team, but Ohio State, of course, ranked. Bobano tipped us off to Ohio State being a good bet in general going forward about a couple months ago, and that has proved to be the case. And then Arizona State, a very interesting game. I was a little bit surprised to see this line so close. I was thinking that Arizona might be worth a play there. Did you look at any of those games, Jim? You have anything to say about any of those games?
Yeah, I mean, I like the Pack. I keep an eye on them. West Coast guy. Yes, I like Arizona in this matchup, but I'm not going to make an official play until I have capped it into its entirety. I'm really excited about the Eastern Washington-Montana game.
Yes.
Again, I think Eastern Washington at home can make a statement. Will they be able to? I'm going to focus on this game quite a bit today and make a call, but I'm definitely leaning towards Eastern Washington making a statement there. We got Oregon State at UCLA. We have St. Mary's at San Francisco. I like the way San Francisco's been playing at home and think they can cover this spot against St. Mary's. But again, I'm going to study that further. Lots of exciting stuff, man. Oregon at USC. I think that USC can smash these guys. But again, I'm going to make sure that I've got all my ducks in a row before I make an official pick.
Sounds good. Let's see. Other comments that is interesting. Melas Palas Way likes Wichita State first half. Very nice. Where Justin Searcy liking the Wichita State Temple game over. Let's see. Mutt B says Arizona will big, so will Purdue. Big plays on both. I was thinking about Arizona as well. Let's see. Other comments here. Yeah, the Montana game you said talked about, Jim. I actually like Montana in that one. I bet it at 1.5. It's up to 3.5. So a big move in Montana's favor. I don't know if I'd want to take him at 3.5.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to. I mean, we know that Montana's the class of the conference. But Eastern Washington has been playing better and better and better. And I'm a fan, obviously, of all teams, of the Pacific Northwest. And so I just like them. And I'm not going to let that get in the way of me making a play. But I can understand. This is a matchup that we've been waiting for at home against the class of the conference.
Mutt B says Montana, one of the best bets. ATS. Tomori says Ohio State is the more consistent team, but I don't think they are much better than Penn State, and home advantage is huge in the Big Ten. Yeah, that's a very, very interesting game. I am thinking about that, and I'm going to look into that. I'm sure you will have some interesting stuff to say about that, Jimmy the Bag, as well. A lot of commenters in the 6 o'clock show. Baseball Bob says lean Montana again. I bet Montana at -1.5. It's now up to 3.5. Really not sure I'd want to take that one. That is a tricky one. And I'm just scanning.
Some nice comments here from Slay the Spread. He says, I don't bet much college hoops, but tonight I got to make a degenerative play on my Sun Devils. My house is divided. My girl is U of A. I'm ASU. And then later he says, Loshak gave me the confidence to grow my hair out. Love you, buddy.
Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Yes. Wait, I'm just looking at comments here. So he likes. I was thinking that Arizona might have a significant edge here over Arizona State.
I like Arizona in this spot.
Yeah.
I think that this would probably be the best line that we're going to get on them all day.
Yeah.
I like them enough even just to go ahead and take them.
All right. I'm going to do that. I'm going to take Arizona here. I'm going to take them first half and full game just in case they go up big in the first half and then blow the full game. And they could easily take this one wire to wire. I'm going to take Arizona here. I'll tell you what lines I'm taking. You can make a decision on that one. I'm going to take Arizona just -1, -110 on the full game. And hopefully we can get a pick 'em. Oh, also, by the way, did you catch yesterday in the Syracuse game? Remember, in the first half, I was like, all right, I like the under 66.5. And I made a big deal. I was like, man, I wish I was getting 67. Landed on 67, Jim. These half points definitely do matter.
They matter very much. I'm gonna take Arizona just on the full game.
All right, -1, -110. Jim's on that. I'm on that. Mutt Beast is on that as a huge play. Let me see. Let me just find the where the hell is this? First half. I'm looking for the first half.
Arnie's Army comes in and says Arizona wins tonight. They don't cover large spreads against winning teams, but they win outright against them.
Yes.
I might attend to throw a Loshak in the bag sign at the curtain.
Oh, awesome! Oh, that would be awesome. We got to get some swag to send out to all these people who comment here. Let's see. All right. So again, these half points matter, and right now the first half is a split line: pick'em or -110. So I'll definitely take the pick'em -110. That is the current line at Bookmaker. Pinnacle has -0.5, -114, so it's a split line. Pick'em or no, actually, Pinnacle. Wait a minute, Pinnacle might have just moved. Let me just scan this one. Let me just. No, it didn't. Okay, Pick'em -110 is the current line at Bookmaker for the first half, and I will take Arizona two ways on that one. Let me see. And while we're here, why don't I check out the Coastal Carolina line on the first half? Let me just check that one out. Yeah, -1.5. That's it's headed up. It's headed up. I'll have to think about that one. Maybe I'll take the first half money line or something. Jim, any other comments you have on any of these games? Any comments tumbling in? We do have a very tiny NBA card tonight, so we can do half the show for NHL. I want to get to some of the other college basketball plays that I gave, though, Jim. The bets that I made, so I can give them.
Please do, my friend.
Let's see. Cody Holloway says you guys should make shirts. Yes, we should make shirts. Let's do that, Jim. Let's do that, Jim. Wait here. Tomarino Tomor says Arizona always loses to teams less talented. They have 0 Final Four appearances with Miller. I'm not on that game. Well, that's concerning, right?
Yeah, that's concerning. Yeah. I mean. Yeah, they get huge recruits each year. They don't do enough with them. But Arizona State's a team that plays on the periphery.
Yeah.
They need to hit their shots or they're not going to win. And Arizona can take you in different ways, different styles. I like the size advantage and the boards advantage, and I like to play.
And here we go. Just one quickly. Loshak, Jimmy, how about that under on Iowa, Michigan? Book it. Bam, pay me. Very nice, Jeremy M.
Yeah.
Jeremy M. Hold on one second. Here's a concerning comment also. Christopher Kelly, local Arizona. Christopher Kelly, local in Arizona, says, I like U of A, but this is a weird spot. Arizona State is going to play their life out. This is their Final Four game.
Well, Chris Kelly knows what he's talking about, and we love having him as part of our chat. We know that this game is more important to Arizona State because they've been playing poorly, and we expected more from them.
Interesting here. Hal Abrams says Arizona is much more talented. Sean Thompson, best bet Cincy in Arizona. And Tuate Latte, Arizona money line. Very nice. Melas Palas Way, Arizona State first half and Arizona full game. That's an interesting analysis there.
It is an interesting take.
Joe D says, Arizona rolls. I've been fading ASU for weeks. Yes, but Christopher Kelly's saying this might be a little bit of a weird spot. Also, Tomarino Tomor says this might be a little bit of a weird spot where Arizona State will play a little bit better than how we've been, what we've been seeing from them.
Russell Beiswanger is interested if we would put out anal beads.
Russell Beiswanger, I'm telling you, man, those Germans. I mean, Germany right now is a wonderful country. I'd love to be a citizen there, but they're sick. They're into some sick porn in Germany. You know what I'm saying?
They love to fuck.
The sickest people in the world in terms of porn are the Germans and the Japanese.
And the Japanese.
I mean, the Japanese are sick as hell.
The Japanese are the sickest.
Wonderful people. Wonderful country.
Great people.
But when it comes to porn, they're fucking sick as hell. Even sicker than the Germans, actually.
Yes,
when it comes to porn.
Yes, they are.
Wow. Okay. All right. Minus 110, Nostra Tota says, gun to my head, I'd take the Sun Devils. But I feel like someone like Nostra Tota, he's a guy where I'm just looking for his top plays. You know, no, but I'm saying.
No, I get it.
I mean, it's like he's like if he doesn't have much of a lean, that carries a lot of weight. But you know what I'm saying.
I do.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Let's see. What else do you
see? This Joe D's got a great point, and this is one of the reasons why I was fading Arizona State earlier. Is their one decent big gets in foul trouble nonstop, right? And he plays this funny way where if he gets nervous and stays on the periphery, coach just pulls him immediately. And then if he plays aggressive, he gets in foul trouble and he's pulled immediately. He's Joe D, I'm with you, man. I think this is a nice spot for Arizona, no question.
Very interesting stuff. Okay, all right. Joe D says Arizona State has no inside game. That's right. The Kilted Chimp says Arizona State will be up for this game.
Normal Nation says, Bag, my boy loves to gamble. I told him this show was a must-watch. He denied the invitation. I smacked him right in the face. Good.
Why would he deny the invitation?
Just open hand. You know, don't use this part, right?
We'll keep on asking him. Perseverance, my friend. Get him to watch the damn show. All right, let's see.
Twatty says, who's checking Ayton? I mean, that's the question. They don't have it, and if Lake tries to, he's going to get in foul trouble immediately.
Okay, and Luke Charleston, I'm all over Arizona tonight. Favorite play of the day. All right, Jim. I guess why don't you look into it a little bit further in the interim between now and the 6 o'clock show. We'll get some other opinions and we'll make our final decision. You've taken Arizona though. I've taken them on the full game and the first half. Let me just see let me just scan down the games to see quickly what are the other bets that I made and maybe if I want to give them as a pick, and then we'll move on to NBA and NHL. Let's see. All right, so Cincinnati, Houston, tough, highly debated game. Very interesting stuff there. There's a lot of games actually that in the Colonial and the MAAC that I feel could really go either way. Like William and Mary getting points at Hofstra. William and Mary could win by 10 or lose by 20 easily that game. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like there's a lot of games that are like that on the card. So that means that there's probably going to be a lot of second half plays that I'm liking, but not a lot of full game spreads. Again, I haven't had a chance to look at the totals in these games. Let me see. Riders, Siena is in kind of a world of hurt right now, right, Jim?
They are, but they seem to be handling the adversity okay.
Yeah, I was thinking about taking Ryder minus 13.5, but I'm going to hold off on that one. That was just something that I was thinking about. Tulsa, Connecticut, that's an interesting one. Hopefully J.P. Fahey goes to UConn. Will come in and tell us what he thinks about that game. Let me see. Thinking about taking Furman as a big favorite over Chattanooga. It's another spot that might be a down spot for Chattanooga, and Furman might roll relatively easily. Manhattan, Quinnipiac don't have an opinion on that one. It's certainly an interesting matchup. Probably going to have a second half play on that one, but as of right now, that's going to be a pass. The William Mary game, very interesting. Again, William Mary could easily win by 10 or lose by 20 as a 4.5 point underdog. Scanning on down the line.
There's a couple good ones here. Underdog status is on Appalachian State, but Jake Block says, I think about fading Texas State. Got blown out last time they played in San Marcos. Should be another blowout. Very one-dimensional team right now. That's a very interesting take, and we've both liked Texas State, at times this year, and I'm very happy to get that note to help me with my capping. That
is an interesting note. I was scratching my head up with that game a little bit as well. All right, Ohio State, Penn State, yes, that's interesting. UTSA at Old Dominion. Is someone out for UTSA? Because UTSA has been they're not a great team, but they've definitely been able to hang tight with at home and on the road with some of the top teams in the Conference USA. The line opened at 10 or 10.5. I was thinking they might be a good bet there. Now it's up to 12.5 or 13. So someone might be out for UTSA. I guess that could be money, but that's interesting. Middle Tennessee State at Southern Miss. Southern Miss has been kind of a scrappy home dog, but Middle Tennessee State, who said that? Was that -110 Costa Tota? Who said that was
Nostra Tota?
Nostra Tota. Middle Tennessee State, obviously a great team. A little bit scary for me to bet against Southern Miss as a home dog of this size, but that carries a lot of weight there. Nostra Tota, -110. Nostra Tota likes Middle Tennessee State. Is someone out for UTSA? You seeing anything, Jim?
I'll grab it right now.
I mean, I checked last night. I didn't see anything. I was also leaning Tennessee Martin to get a nice little win over SIU Edwardsville.
We got some more inside info, inside stuff with this former Sun Devil. Says this feels like a typical
trap
Arizona State upset spot.
Right.
Trey Holder went off for 31 the first game, but the difference was Evans and Winston going 5 for 23. They shoot better tonight. Arizona State money line, says Jay Will.
Fuck. All right. Well, this is a game where, we'll see what the line movement is. I've already entered in my picks. You've already entered in your pick, Jim. We can take it back if we want to. But
I agree. I can understand that. Now, when I've got two teams that are very similar, I will take the bigger team that doesn't rely on outside shooting. And I think that I will hit more than 54% of the time with that, because when you have a team that needs to hit threes, we watch these teams. It's the ebbs and flows. They get hot, they get cold, but size doesn't get hot or cold.
Right.
Size is always there.
Yeah. That's true. That's true, Jimmy the Bag. All right, other plays that I was thinking about. I was thinking about Rice as a home dog against Marshall. Rice has been pretty solid ATS recently, although that line has also gotten better from 7.5 to 8.5, Jimmy the Bag. Actually, if I could request one game for you to look at, that one, Rice and Marshall, because I'm thinking that Rice might be a good play as a home dog at 8.5, but I'm a little bit concerned about the line movement there. Rice plus 8.5 against Marshall. I'll throw that one on there for now, even though I'm concerned about the line move. I bet it at 7.5. It's now up to 8.5, so I'll throw that one on there. Rice plus 8.5 -103. I'm sure I can feel the comments coming in right now. No, Pete, Rice is going to get rolled. Marshall's going to dominate them. Marshall by 15 plus. I can feel the comments already coming in. But I'm going to throw on Rice right now, plus 8.5, -110 as a pick right there. We also have the rematch, Belmont and Eastern Kentucky, Jim. If you remember the last time these two teams played, you loved Belmont as a big road favorite, and they covered first half and full game easily. I tailed you on that. Now it's a rematch. They're a 16.5 or 17-point home favorite, but if the game goes anything close to what happened the first time they played, they'll cover that line easily.
Yeah, I didn't just want to jump on it without really breaking it down, but I agree with you. It worked once, and it can work again. Then
Utah and Washington is an interesting game. I'm sure you at least noticed that, Jim.
Oh, for sure, and that's what Normal Nation's talking about. He's leaning Washington at home. I'm very excited about capping that game, and I want the Huskies to win just from a fan standpoint, but I won't let that get in the way of capping it.
Yeah, the line, and there's sort of an interesting line movement on that one. It was Pick'em on the overnight line. Now Utah is a pretty solid favorite of -1.5. That's a solid, confident market move in favor of Utah.
It is, and I'm looking forward to look into that. My favorite Husky team or college basketball team of all time was the Huskies with Brandon Roy, Nate Robinson. I look forward to looking into that, and I'm not going to let my love for the Huskies get in the way of it.
All right, a lot of people not really liking Arizona here. Brody Alexander, Arizona Bigs, struggling at the line. Brody Alexander says size is always there, but free throw shooting isn't. Yeah, if you have big Dwight Howard-style free throw shooters, bigs who get all the rebounds and shoot 3 for 11 from the free throw line, especially in crunch time, that's not good, Jimmy the Bag, right?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, wow, very, very interesting. Very interesting. And here, Tomio Tomo on the other side. Arizona usually cleans up in conference. Miller's teams are always solid defensively on the perimeter. The issue is offense. Drew B says Arizona State needs this win. Mutt Beast says, don't puss out, Pete and Jimmy. Arizona wins. I think that pretty much seals it for me. I don't know about you, Jimmy the Bag, but a comment from Mutt Beast like that trumps all the other educated and nuanced comments that have come in saying maybe Arizona State, maybe Arizona State. No, my opinion on that game now has been sealed. Mutt Beast. Don't puss out, Pete and Jimmy. Arizona wins. Done.
Yeah, I love Mutt.
Mutt Beast. Love Mutt Beast. How do you not love that guy? All right. Jensen Bonzone. I'm in Arizona tonight. I'll bank on history. Andrew says letdown spot for Arizona State. Wow.
Sal Negro says, great bet, Rice, Loshak.
Yes,
Marshall back-to-back weeks trips to Texas. 1,000-mile travel wears on the team. I'm with you. Rice plus 8.5. Interesting.
Yep. Don't quite understand why that line moved the way it did. And one other bet that I made, which is a little bit close, but I think I made the bet, and I'll take it. Line has not moved at all. Louisiana Tech at home against UAB. Louisiana Tech, a solid team. I think they can pull out the win here. Louisiana Tech -2, -106. That's another play that I'm going to make. The North Texas, someone must be out for North Texas because they've been a solid team. I picked them. Remember, I picked them against UAB, and that was a great call on that one. The line was 4 or 4.5 in the morning. Now it's up to 6 or 6.5. So that's a huge move in favor of Western Kentucky. I'm assuming someone's out for North Texas. I'm assuming. It's got to be. That's got to be. Then Gonzaga, a huge home favorite against Loyola Maryland. That's going to be a pass for me. Again, the Montana Eastern Washington game, I bet it at -1.5. It's up to 3 or 3.5 market wide. So that's now a line move that's headed strongly in Montana's favor. Maybe I'll throw on Montana on the first half here. And then Portland, a few days ago, a lot of people liked Portland in a bunch of games, and they mostly cash on that one. They're a home favorite against Santa Clara, but that line's gotten bet down from 3.5 to 2. So that's another interesting, and that's the second game I'd like you to look into, actually. Santa Clara, Portland, Jimmy the Bag. If you have a chance. That is definitely an interesting one. We've had some interesting analysis on Portland games recently for sure. All right, so anyone out for North Texas? Did you find anything?
Nothing new.
Well, I don't understand that live movement, and if that's purely about money, if no one's out for North Texas, I'm pretty sure I'd be liking North Texas at +6.5. No one's out for North Texas?
No one knew. I mean, I'll keep an eye on it, but at this point, there's no one.
You just checked?
Yeah.
I don't get that. All right, I'm going to show a little bit of balls here. I'm going to take it. I'm going to go against this line movement just on the full game. Western Kentucky's a great team, but now that it's up to 6.5, I will take that one. North Texas +6.5, -110. North Texas +6.5, -110. I might even be better off taking the Pinnacle line +6, +101, but I'm going to go with a +6.5, -110. Don't understand the line movement, and I'm going to make a pick against it. The only other thing I'd be thinking about would be taking Montana on the first half. Maybe Montana on the first half, they come out strong and then get caught later on by Eastern Washington. That is -1.5. Yeah, that's a little bit of a tough one as well. All right, any other comments, Jim, or shall we move on?
Yeah, Walter Trotter says, Pete looking fly, Jimmy looking real crippy.
Yes, yeah, I am looking fly. And thank you. You know, Walter Trotter always notices when I make a nice little move with my appearance on camera, and I fucking appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
I love Walter Trotter.
You know, because, sure. This is not by accident. I fucking look in the mirror. I mean, I only take like 10 or 15 seconds to put together my look every day, but I do take those 10 seconds, and I care about it very much. Trying to look cool, very important. Because if you want to be a winner, you got to look like a winner, and I don't think anyone would say that I don't look like a winner right
You're
now.
a
Jimmy.
fucking winner,
Come on,
man.
look at this. Look here, baby. All right, so that'll wrap it up for college basketball, and then we'll move on. Jim has made 2 picks: Citadel +10, Arizona -1. I've given North Texas +6.5, Coastal Carolina moneyline -150, Citadel +10, Citadel first half +5.5, Wichita State -12.5, Louisiana Tech -2, Rice +8.5, and Arizona first half pick'em and full game -1, and North Texas +6.5. All right, let's move on to start with the NHL, right? Oh no, sorry, the NBA, because we have just 2 games on the NBA card tonight, and let's throw up the line for you, the lines here, the records here, because I am clawing my way back in the NBA. But Jimmy the Bag, I'm not sure about this, but I think you might have hit a high water mark in the NBA. You're now pushing 20 units in the NBA, and I think we might currently be on your high water mark in NBA.
I believe we are, yeah.
Off of a sweep as well. Awesome job, Jimmy the Bag. Unfortunately, we only have 2 games for you to give us some picks on today. What do you think? What are you liking out of these 2 games, Jim?
They're both tough games, and the big mistake was not sending out a tweet and getting on the Lakers Timberwolves over early. Mm-hmm. And now at this point, I don't know if it makes sense. I think it was a missed opportunity. It's actually gone down a little bit from 226.5 to 226 at most of the books. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. Lakers are on the second half of a back-to-back. They just lost 139-117 to New Orleans last night. I don't know why I wasn't on New Orleans. There was a lot of easy spots last night, and I took advantage of some of it. Mm-hmm. I said I was going to be on New Orleans all day, and I still didn't make the move. Lakers had both Isaiah Thomas and Luke Walton ejected from the game. Walton talked at length about how disappointed he is at the Lakers' perimeter defense and how they're not doing certain things. Will that change things? Mm-hmm. And also, Timberwolves are not a good three-point shooting team. So if the Lakers do try in this game before they go on the break, and the Timberwolves aren't that great of a three-point shooting team, is this number going up a spot for us to actually move on the under? It's possible, and I'll think about that this afternoon. Lakers' second straight loss after winning 8 of 10. They're just 9-19 on the road. Some of these guys are looking really good, especially Brandon Ingram, averaging 20 points, 5.7 assists over his last 6 games. He went 9 of 17 for 21 points against New Orleans, had 5 assists. Lonzo Ball's close to coming back. The Lakers have got destroyed both times they played the Timberwolves this year. Lost by a combined 35 points. Timberwolves had their 13-game winning streak snapped Tuesday night versus the Rockets. They allowed 126 against the Rockets. They've lost 3 of 4 overall. They need to have a good win here before going into the break. They allowed 42 points in the fourth quarter. Both these defenses have looked awful, but I don't know why they wouldn't try their hardest before the break. It's always tricky the day before the break. Underdog status says T-Wolves over at 226. I mean, if you got it this morning at 222.5, it was a great play. At 226, I'm not sure. I still think it's probably the play. Melee Palace Way says Minnesota team total over. Underdog status says Lakers play no defense. They were called out for that. Yeah. Don't you see that there could be a change? Could be. I don't know. The Kilted Chimp says no D tonight in the NBA. Looking forward to the All-Star break.
And yesterday the same thing happened. The line went way up, and it wound up easily going over the closing line.
256.
Yeah. And man, did I leave money on the table by not taking the friggin' Boston game over? I knew that was a great call. I left a lot of money on the table last night, Jimmy the Bag. All right, so you want to make a play on this one?
I'm not going to make a play at 226. I'm going to keep an eye on the line. And Cody Brown says Lakers aren't a great three-point shooting team, Jimmy. They can't hit free throws. I'm a diehard Lakers fan, but the Wolves need all the wins they can get. Yeah, I hear you. I definitely hear you. But okay. I'm gonna stay off this game at this point.
All right. And what do you think about just to play on the Lakers, just to roll here?
No, I just don't.
I'm sorry. I mean the Minnesota.
Yeah, that's definitely. It's just 10 points. That's definitely a spot that looks appealing. But I'm not going to make a move at this point. Better Broad says Lakers. It is with everything going on, All-Star break coming. It is a spot that you need to take time and not just hammer.
Okay, and then Denver, Milwaukee. Milwaukee's been winning and going under. Denver's been winning and going over. You have anything to say about that one, Jim?
Bucks are 8 games over 500. Best start after 56 games since 2001. 19-9 at home, coming off 97-92 home win. 5th straight home win. They're ranked 10th now defensively, but they're the worst rebounding team in the NBA. And that's not going to change as long as John Henson, he's questionable with hamstring soreness. Nuggets have lost 7 straight road games, 8-19 on the road, but they've won 5 of 6 overall. A lot of people think maybe this is a spot for the Nuggets to come out strong, even though they've been a terrible road team. When Millsap returns, this will be a very dangerous squad, but the fact that they can't win on the road is an issue. And I don't know what exactly to do with this game right now, and I'm not going to make a play on it.
All right, so you're gonna pass on both NBA games tonight.
At this point.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on both NBA games tonight as well. All right, let's move on to NHL. A huge guard, Jimmy the Bag, right?
Yep.
Jimmy the Bag did not sweep the board in the NHL last night, but I believe he is now at a high water mark in NHL. Throw the record up there. I'm positive, but Jimmy the Bag pushing 30 units. Look at that shit. That's how you do it in the NHL. Well below 50%, but the average line there, as you can see, plus 126. And Jimmy the Bag now pushing 30 units in NHL, I believe, at a high water mark. Very, very nicely done. We got a massive card today. What are you liking here, Jim?
Well, there's a ton that I like. First off, start with the easy play that we've been doing over and over and over again, and that's the Penguins at home on the puck line. Kings are coming off a 7-3 loss at Carolina on Tuesday night. Johnny Quick got lit up again. He is supposed to play. They're supposed to throw him right back into the fire. Pulled a minute into the second after allowing his fourth goal of the game. A minute into the second, this guy is struggling. He's not been that bad. 1-3-0, 3.68 goals against average, 8.96%. It looks like he's been worse. I thought his numbers were going to be worse in February, but they're not. They just traded Marian Gaborik and Nick Shore to the Senators for Dion Phaneuf and Nate Thompson. I despise Dion Phaneuf. I guess I don't despise him on the ice. He's just a average defenseman. But off the ice, I don't like his character. I don't like him as a person. He was already in Pittsburgh, so he's good to go, but Nate Thompson's still dealing with lower body injury. Kings are 16-12-2 on the road, 6-4-0 over their last 10, but the Penguins have the league's best record since January 1st. We talked about that happening on this show, and it's happened. 13-4-1. They've won 9 straight at home, have outscored their opposition 47-25 over that span. They've scored an average of 5.2 goals per game over that span. Sidney Crosby leads the NHL since January 1st in points and assists. He's on a 9-game home point streak. That's 19 points over that 9-game home winning streak. Phil Kessel's a 9-game home point streak as well. 18 points there. Evgeny Malkin's second in the league with 31 goals. Matt Murray's 6-0-1 in his last 7. The Pens are 21-7-1 at home. This is a great spot. Let's jump on these.
And Pens. I was thinking about the over in that one as well, Jim. What do you think about that?
It makes sense, but this Kings team should tighten up. And that's why I can't continue. If you had to just continually hit the over on every Pens home game, it would be very, very profitable. And I could see it happening here. But in saying all this, I'm only going to take the Penguins on the puck line.
All right, the Penguins puck line is best line right now, plus 175 at the Greek and Pinnacle. Puck line, plus 175 at the Greek and Pinnacle. I'm thinking about tailing that one as well. I'm just concerned that LA has picked it up a little bit, and the line is so high. You know what I mean?
Picked it up?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Scoring-wise.
Yes, their offense has improved a little bit, but with their defense has fallen. I mean, I can't. This team is about to buckle out of the playoffs, like I said would happen in the beginning of the year.
All right, I'll go with my leans and bets on this one. I will take Pittsburgh -1 with you, Jim. You think we're doing the right thing here, right?
I think we should blindly take the Pens every single home game by the puck line.
And I'm going to take the over on this one as well. I will take the over on this one. I mean, LA's been scoring a decent amount. All right, so Pittsburgh, the money line part of this one, best line will be -165, and again the puck line part plus 175. And while I look for the best line for the over, why don't you hit us up with another game, Jim?
I will, but first off, Jerome Bolden says my friends talk shit because I listen to you guys. They shouldn't be, but my pockets continue to bulk. Cashed a 6-pick and a 10-pick, total $8K. Love this show forever. I'm going to find some salutes, fellas. Love Loshak in the back.
I want to know what their reasoning is. Yeah, here you go. Jerron Bolden. My friends talk shit because I listen to you guys. My pockets continue to bulk. Cash the 6-pick and 10-pick, total $8K. Love this show forever. I'm going to find some salutes, fellas. Loshak in the bag. Jerron Bolden, ask your friends what. I want to know what their reasoning is for talking shit about us. I just want to know. Do some opposition research here, right, Jim?
Yeah, you know what? I just still think it's a very nice thing for him to say.
Yes, very nice thing for him to say, Jerron Bolden. If you can find out from your friends why they give you shit and come in here and let us know, I would be curious. I'd be interested in that information, Jim. All right, I'm going to take the over 5.5 -115. You think that's an okay thing to do, Jim?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
What else do you like, Jim?
I'm on the over in the Hurricanes at Devils hockey game coming up this evening. Hurricanes are on a 3-game winning streak, have brought their moms on the trip to Jersey. Because they brought their moms, I know a ton of people who are saying, man, hammer the Canes. I'm just going to go on the over here. They're coming off an impressive 7-3 win as well. It was their best offensive game of the season, so the Kings have allowed 7 games in back-to-back games. Capped off that very important 8-game homestand that we talked about for the last 2 weeks, 5-2-1. In their last 3 home games, they've outscored the competition 14-5. The Canes are 12-12-4 on the road, 6-3-1 over the last 10, but don't really care about their last 10 because it was all home games. Devils just stopped a 4-game losing streak. Taylor Hall scored 2 goals, including the game-tying marker. He's 11 goals, 23 points over a 15-game point streak. Corey Schneider remains out. They're also missing Boyle, Gibbons, and Johansson, so I can understand why people like the Canes here. But, man, I'm just going to take the over here.
All right, 5.5 -120. I was feeling that way as well, but it's just that Carolina was a big no-brainer under-trender for a long time before their last game. Right, Jim?
They are, but I've expected their offense to step up, and I think Kincaid is a questionable netminder at this point. I also think that Hall is very hot right now.
Didn't New Jersey's one of their top scorers get banged up in his last game?
I have gone over all of their. Oh, well, they've got. You mean Brian Boyle? Yeah, Brian Boyle played in the All-Star game, but he's more of a.
No, one of them got. Maybe it's a different team. All right, that was a pick that I was liking as well, and I will take that one too. Over 5.5 -120. Jim and I are both going to take Carolina and New Jersey. Let's move on to a game that I was thinking about. I was thinking about definitely an interesting one. Vancouver against San Jose, right?
Yes.
Now San Jose, not a bad team, but I don't know if they're one of these NHL teams that should be this big of a favorite favorite their last game. They were this big of a favorite at home. They lost outright to Arizona. Vancouver on a back-to-back. Should San Jose be really this big of a favorite here? And I was thinking maybe about a shot with the under, Jim.
I don't think these back-to-backs are fair. Going from Vancouver to San Jose. I mean, when could they have possibly got in? At 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning? This isn't fair. Canucks are on the second half back-to-back. Markstrom was pulled after allowing 4 goals, 14 shots. I hear that he will be back in goal tonight. Vancouver's 3-3-0 on the second half of back-to-backs. 5-9-1 against the Pacific Division. They're 12-14-3 on the road. Brent Burns has moved up to the forward unit after Sharks are suffering more and more injuries. Now they've lost Hurdle. So they have Joel Ward, Hurdle, and Thornton out. I mean, these are tough veteran. No, Hurdle's not that much of a veteran, but these are important forwards. But they need to boost from Burns. They've scored more than 3 goals once over the last 9 games. Sharks are 2-0-1 versus Vancouver. Have scored 13 goals in those games. They've won 7 of their last 8 meetings with the Canucks. My lean here is just that this is too much. This is too difficult. The travel is such bullshit. And I think that the Sharks -1.5 is the play here.
Really? And what about the under?
I think that the under. I mean, Markstrom is just our goaltending is so questionable in Vancouver right now, and but the Sharks' goaltending has improved. But there's been talk that it won't be Martin Jones, even though I expect Martin Jones. Sal Negro says Nilsson is a projected starter for right now. I hope that's the case. I hope they go with Nilsson, but I heard they were going to come right back with Markstrom. I think maybe I don't know if we'll get more information later in the day, but. I just think this is too difficult, asking Vancouver to play back-to-backs in Vancouver and San Jose.
All right, I'm going to take the under here. Under 5.5 -105. That's the current line at Pinnacle. It's an okay thing to do. Nah, I don't know.
No, I think it's an okay thing to do. I mean, I don't trust this Canucks goaltending, but I think it's an okay thing to do.
Okay, let's move on to Montreal, Arizona. This is another interesting one. Arizona suddenly picking it up just a little bit, right? They've actually won 3 out of their last 4. Some nice underdog lines there. Montreal on a back-to-back. Lost at Colorado 2-0. I was thinking maybe an under here. And if Ranta's okay now, maybe Arizona, even as a small favorite. What do you think?
I'm on Arizona. For sure.
Okay.
They got a good vibe in their dressing room for the first time all year. They're playing good hockey. Scott Wedgwood was in net versus the Habs, but left after taking a hard hit. Ranta comes in, shuts the door. They're getting a ton of production for their defense. We talked about earlier in our show earlier in the year, we talked about, I think their defense is good. I don't know why they're not playing better, you know? Alex Goligoski has goals in 3 straight games. Kevin Connaughton next. The Canuck has 6 points in his last 7 games. The Coyote defense has 17 points over their last 5 games. Coyotes are 5-4-1 over their last 10. They're playing good hockey. Antti Niemi, and we had people on the talk, as soon as they said Antti Niemi was gold, people remember Antti Niemi from the beginning of the year, and a bunch of people said, it was G-Money Top Shelf. He would say, you slow down. He said, slow down on taking the over just because Niemi's improved, and he looked great last night. Now Price will be back in goal. He's actually been better than I thought he was. He's 1-2-1 with a 2.22 goals against, 9.22 save percentage in February. But they get little to no offense. Max Pacioretty's their leading scorer with a paltry 33 points.
Right.
I think this is a great spot for the Coyotes.
And I was thinking about the under as well. What do you think about that, Jim?
That play makes sense.
That does make sense. All right, how do you want to make this one, Jim?
I'm just going to take Coyotes on the full game money line.
All right, Arizona money line. The best line right now is at BetOnline plus 100. And I am also going to take Arizona money line plus 100. And I'm also going to take the Arizona under 5.5. Let me find the best line here. I did bet that one. Let me find that one. Arizona under 5.5 minus 120. All right, Jim, what else do you like here?
Well, I like a ton of stuff. So let me start rolling. I'm going to take the under 6.5. I think it's too big of a line for the Rangers Islanders. The Islanders have not been scoring like they used to. This is a very intense rivalry. I like this under 6.5 here. They occupy the bottom 2 spots in the Met. They're both still in the race, though, just 3 and 4 points behind the Hurricanes. This game, this is a big game. Rangers have lost 12 of their last 15 to the Islanders, including 2 games earlier this year at Madison Square Garden. They're coming off a 3-2 loss at Minnesota on Tuesday night. They're dealing with a ton of injuries. Kreider, Buchnevich up front. McDonough, Shattenkirk, and Stahl are all out of the lineup. That's a big loss defensively, huge. McDonough might be back. I'm hoping he's back for this bet. Rangers are just 9-15-2 on the road, but this isn't that big of a tough road spot for them. Islanders, as I said, coming off 4-1 home loss to the Jackets. Their offense is slowing down. Their defense is their defense slowing down. Their offense still awful. Halak will be between the pipes for the Isles. 17, 18, and 4, 3.25 goals against average, 909 save percentage. I like the under 6.5 in this spot. Okay, and the last time I believe they had a 6.5 was against Vegas, who also has a 6.5 today, and that game, of course, went under. So you like the Islanders under 6.5, right, Jim? I sure do.
All right, 6.5 minus 110 is the best line right now at Pinnacle. 6.5 minus 110. Let's jump to the other game with a 6.5. Edmonton and Vegas. That one again. Vegas had a 6.5 against the Islanders recently. That game went under, and Vegas, no surprise here, a huge favorite. Edmonton, a very beatable team. Is Vegas maybe a no-brainer play here? And what do you think about that high total?
Well, so Vegas 13-1-1 against the Pacific Division. Their only 2 losses have come at the hands of the Oilers. But the Oilers have lost 4 straight. They're a disappointed squad. They just lost 7-5 at home to the Panthers. McDavid continues to play great, but the rest of the team is trash. They're 28 points behind the Knights, 11-14-2 on the road, 4-5-1 their last 10. Golden Knights coming off the 5-2 win at home over the Blackhawks. They lost 8-2 to the Oilers at Rogers Place on November 14th. That's the worst loss in Vegas' short history. I am going to stay off of this game. Okay. I know I've left a ton of money on the table, not like what Udon Porn Ratana Factory is doing right now, taking Vegas puck line. Brent Brooks taking Vegas minus 2.5.
I don't know if that's a jokey, ironic kind of comment there. If he's really taking Vegas minus 2.5. Whoa. SM says I even said yesterday that Niemi sucks. He does suck. Colorado only had to shoot 25 on him to win.
Against an NHL hockey team, if you look at his goals against average lately, it's been very good. He's obviously a streaky goalie. He looked terrible in the first half of the year. But, I hear you. I don't think he's that good of a goalie. I think he's an aging goalie on the downswing of his career. But
and I'm also concerned. Brent Brooks says Varlamov stopped 40 shots last night. Does that mean that Montreal's probably going to have a better offensive day here than they had last night?
I think that the same problem, the reason why you don't want to back teams like the Oilers right now is because the mood in their dressing room is terrible. I don't know if Pacioretty is going to step up and say something like we hope that Taves will. Taves has said that there's nothing left to say for Chicago. But the Coyotes have hope. And that's when you want to back a team, when they have hope.
Okay, so now let's move to another interesting game, which is Anaheim against Chicago. Anaheim been a little bit underachieving recently. Jim, I know you've generally been looking for spots to play on them. Chicago, of course, lost 7 in a row. We thought they were going to bounce back against Vegas, and they didn't. Is Anaheim maybe a good play here as a small road favorite?
I think they are a good spot here. Blackhawks, as you said, lost 7 straight. They've now scored 29-12 over that streak, coming off a 5-2 loss at Las Vegas that spelled the end of Jeff Glass's NHL ride.
Yes, he was released. That's right. Put on waivers.
Fucking heartbreak, man. Corey Crawford expected to be back soon. For now, Anton Forsberg will get the nod. 5-10-3, 3.05 goals against average, 907 save percentage. The Brincat has goals in back-to-back games. He's now tied with Patrick Kane for the team lead with 21. This is a sinking ship, and Taves came out and said there's nothing else that we can say. You have to show it on the ice. I do not trust Forsberg at all. I'm just going to take the Ducks here, but I'm not going to take a minus 1.5.
Why is that?
Just because the Blackhawks are going to play as tight as they possibly can.
Yeah. See, I was thinking about an under as well. What do you think about that?
I just don't trust Forsberg at all.
At all.
But the Blackhawks team is going to play as tight as possible, I imagine. I can understand the play totally, but I'm just going to take the Ducks on the money line.
All right, the money line, best line right now will be at the Greek minus 110, and I am going to take. I'm going to be a little bit. I'm going to do an anti-correlated thing here. I'm going to take Anaheim minus 1. Do you think that's really stupid or just yeah?
No.
And then I am also going to take the under on this one as well. I know they're anti-correlated, but they also hedge each other out just a little bit. So the minus 1 line will be minus 110 is the money line part at the Greek, and then the puck line part will be plus 254 at Pinnacle, plus 254 at Pinnacle, and then the under is let me just find that one. 5.5 minus 108. So that's not that bad. Under 5.5 minus 108. All right, Jim, what else do you like from today's card?
I still like a ton of stuff. Gin Rummy's laughing, saying we're getting trapped with the Ducks line.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, how bad is Chicago? I mean, we can't say that they're bounced back. I mean, they were up against Vegas, and they almost pulled it out. It just Vegas became Vegas late in the game and blew them out. But they were winning that game, Jim.
I'm not fading the Blackhawks as much here as I'm betting on the Ducks.
Right. Okay, what else do you have for us, Jim?
I'm going to take the Sabres this evening. Sabres have won 3 of 4 with 2 of those victories coming over the Lightning and Bruins. Jack Eichel done for the year. Ryan O'Reilly step up, 18 points in his last 16 games. I've been waiting for Sam Reinhart to prove why he was a second overall pick in 2014 his whole career. And he's a Vancouver kid. I was a big fan of his dad. He is doing that. 16 points in his last 13 games. Leonard is expected to start. Everybody who follows Leonard knows that he plays his best against the Senators team that drafted him. 5-0-2 against him. 1.39 goals against average. 955 save percentage. Gaborik and Nick Shore will be in the lineup for the Senators. They were obtained in that trade for Phaneuf. They're coming off a 6-3 loss at Pittsburgh. Condon was pulled after allowing 4 goals on just 9 shots. Senators are 12-11-5 at home. 4-6-0 after their last 10. I like the Sabres, and no, I know a bunch of teams are on the over. I get it, but Leonard just saves his best for the Senators, and I get it, and it's plus money, but I'm just going to take the Sabres.
Yeah, I was thinking about the over here, and I was also thinking about the Buffalo team total over, which would be just 2.5 at plus money. What do you think about that, Jim?
Plus 2.5 or plus money?
Oh, slight plus money. Plus 102 at Pinnacle, and Heritage has minus 110. So just plus 102 at Pinnacle.
I get it. I completely get it. I'm only going to take the Sabres. I feel like that's the safest play. But
okay.
I get it.
Best line would be money line plus 131. And what do you think about a shot with Buffalo? Do you think they might win big and take Buffalo on the -1 line? What do you think about that, Jim?
I think this will be a tight affair.
You think so?
But the -1 line I can understand.
All right. While I look for what the alternative puck line would be, Jim, why don't you give us another play that you're liking here?
All right. I'm not afraid to back the Wild right now, even against very good hockey teams. I'm going to take the Wild on the puck line this evening. Capitals are coming off 4-3 overtime loss to the Jets on Tuesday night. Burakovsky was a healthy scratch last week. He scored a goal against the Jets, but he's 12 points, 30 games. They need this guy. They're just not getting enough secondary scoring. Braden Holtby continues to struggle on the road. This year in enemy rinks, he's 11-5-2. Great record, but 3.61 goals against average, 895 save percentage. In February, he's at 3.92 goals against average, 896 save percentage. Wild have gone 2-0-1 their first 3 games of a crucial 5-game homestand. They've taken a 3-0 lead in all 3 games. Now, Arizona came all the way back to beat them in overtime. Rangers came back with 2 goals. Blackhawks weren't able to establish anything. Wild have gone 10-0-3 over their last 13 home games. They're 24-5 at home. I'm not afraid to back them even against really good hockey teams, and I'm going to do that here.
Okay. By the way, I am going to take the Buffalo team total over 2.5 plus 102 at Pinnacle, and I am going to throw on the full game over on that one, 5.5 plus 113. You think that's an okay thing to do, Jim?
I do. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So you want Minnesota on the puck line?
I do.
Okay, against Washington, yeah, I was thinking about that one. Minnesota, obviously a juggernaut at home, but I always think twice about betting against Washington. Best line right now would be plus 210 at the Greek. Plus 210 at the Greek. All right, Minnesota puck line. Jim gets Minnesota puck line plus 210. That is the current line at the Greek. Very interesting. Nice stuff, Jimmy the Bag. What else are you liking here, Jim?
I'm also taking the Predators on the puck line against a very good road squad in the Calgary Flames. This is their final game of a 6-game road trip for the Flames. They got to be exhausted. They're 3-2-0 so far. They're coming off allowing 3 third-period goals to the Bruins in a 5-2 loss. I can see the Flames starting out strong and getting weaker as the game goes on. They'll have David Riddick in goal tonight. He's been playing fine while Mike Smith deals with his groin injury. Monahan and Goodrow continue to get little offensive support from anyone else. Goodrow 67 points, Monahan 50. They're both plus 18. Excellent hockey players. The Predators are the opposite. They have a ton of depth. They get offense up and down their lineup. Predators are coming off a 4-3 overtime win over the Blues in a game that saw them come back from 3-0 deficit with 11 minutes left. It's unclear if Rene or Saros will be in net tonight. It doesn't matter who is. I just think the Predators 19-5-3 at home. And when you play against teams like the Flames and the Capitals, you get these nice lines on the puck line, and I'm going to take it here.
All right, plus 175 is the current line at the Greek on that one. That's another interesting one. Calgary has been good at home, and they've been winning recently as well. But
I took the Bruins on the puck line against them. These are tough road trips.
Yeah.
And you know what? The travel is so difficult at times, and the road trips are so difficult that I keep thinking, I don't know how it's not fair what the NHL is doing to the Canucks. And I'm going to take the Sharks on the puck line. It's just not fair. When could they have gotten in? At 5 in the morning?
Damned if I know, Jim. All right, you want that one. Plus,
yes, I do.
All right, the best line with San Jose. Jim's throwing on San Jose. Plus 147. That's the best line right now at Pinnacle. What else are you liking, Jimmy the Bag?
That is all of my plays, although I've capped it. Oh, one play I'm very interested in. And I'm probably not going to pull the trigger right now. But like I thought the Blackhawks offered a ton of value when they were in Vegas, I think the Detroit Red Wings offer a ton of value tonight at Tampa. Now, I have not had success fading the Lightning at home, and I've tried to a couple times this year. And this is another very appealing spot to me. Red Wings have lost to the Lightning 10 straight times. They've already been beaten by them 3 times this year, but they've won 2 games in a row. They look good in that 2-1 win over Anaheim. Leading scorer Anthony Mantha has 19 goals. Lightning have 5 players with 19 or more goals. Red Wings have been good on the road this year, 11-12-2. They're 5-3-2 over their last 10. The Lightning finished off that road trip poorly. Now, I faded the Lightning the last time they came off a road trip. Now, this is a short one, and it didn't work. They won big, and I believe it was against the Canucks. I believe they beat them 5-2, dominated that whole game. The PK's been letting the Lightning down. They've allowed 10 power play goals in the last 10 games. They're now 25th in the league in penalty killing. Detroit's power play is 22nd in the league. Probably won't be good enough to take advantage of it. I just think there's a ton of value here. What would be the best line I would get on Detroit?
On Detroit, for the money line, would be plus 205 at Intertops. Writing us the best line.
Yeah, Vincent Maxwell says, don't do it, Jim. Tampa gets it done, bro. It has not been successful. I'm not going to make this play yet. But I think there's just, don't you see a lot of value here with the Red Wings?
Yeah, well, I mean, Tampa Bay has recently, they've just been, roughly 500-ish. I mean, they've been a little bit better. They lost their last 2 games on the road. I know they're great at home, but yeah, I mean, they certainly haven't been invincible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. I won't take it right now, but I'm certainly going to think about it, and I'm not going to be afraid to pull the trigger, even though I think I'll get a lot of flack.
All right, so that's it. I think we've covered every game, right, Jim?
I believe so.
All right, so let me review all the plays that I've given, and then we'll review all the plays that Jim's given, and I will openly think about maybe tailing 1 or 2 or all of Jim's plays. I have given in the NHL the Buffalo game over 5.5 plus 113, and the Buffalo team total over 2.5 plus 102. San Jose under 5.5. Arizona money line and the Arizona game under 5.5. Pittsburgh -1 and the Pittsburgh game over 5.5. New Jersey over 5.5. Anaheim -1 and the Anaheim game under 5.5. And Jim has given Pittsburgh on the puck line plus 175. That one I already am on. Nashville on the puck line plus 175. You like that one? Do I want to tail that one? What do you think, Jim?
I mean, this is a play that I'm making against, because I think the Flames are a tired squad.
Yes. Okay. New Jersey over 5.5. I'm on that one. Arizona money line plus 100. I'm on that one. Islanders under 6.5. That's an interesting one. I'm not going to tail that one. Buffalo money line plus 131. I am thinking about having a little bit of balls and throwing Buffalo -1 on there, but I already got them on the team total over, so I'm not sure if I want to triple up on it. Anaheim money line -110. I'm on that one. San Jose puck line plus 147. I understand what you're talking about travel. I just feel like San Jose just isn't at good enough team to warrant the line where they are right now. So I'm not going to tell you on that one. Minnesota puck line plus 210 is Jim's last pick, and that is very tempting for me to tail. Grubauer is in goal for Washington. How do you feel about that?
He's been playing better on the road than Holtby.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if the Capitals had a big game, they'd want Holtby in goal.
Yeah. All right, so those are all of Jim's picks. Those are all of my picks, and that wraps up the show. We will be back at 6 o'clock where we will do more in-depth analysis of college basketball. I will have capped the totals in college basketball, and, of course, we'll look at the line movements in all these NHL plays that we've given, and maybe throw on an NBA player or two. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you at 6 o'clock Eastern Time.